Florida's not Portland. If you think you can go and launch attacks against ICE agents in this state, you got another thing coming. We will hold you accountable very swiftly and very severely. And there's other people here doing great stuff. So many great sheriffs throughout the state of Florida. I think it's really appropriate that we're here at the Florida Sheriff's Association. I mean, Kerner was just down in Brevard County with Sheriff Ivey. You know, they got like 400 in a 4-day operation, 400 illegal aliens that were arrested and will be processed out of this country. Just incredible cooperation, local, state, and federal. So I'm glad that Florida stepped up for the 287G. I'm glad we imposed a legal duty, and the Attorney General was quarterbacking this as the Chief of Staff in my office when we did the special session. But the reality is, you know, we do have a lot of folks that would want to be helpful. But when you have that duty, we say, here's the standard, all hands on deck, this is mission critical. That has been really important. And other states, I think, could learn a lot by what Florida's done in that situation. But when we've done all this stuff, you know, it's funny because you'll have people in the media, they never talk about how much money is being spent on liberal initiatives. It's just like you never want to mention that, right? But on anything with immigration, it's like, oh, how much does that cost? This, that, and the other thing. And the reality is, and what we said from the beginning is, this is supporting an important federal mission. These things, like the detention facilities and stuff, you know, those are going to be reimbursable. Our sheriffs are going to be able to get reimbursement. Our state agencies are going to be reimbursement. And some people tried to say that that wasn't going to happen. And I think today, with these checks, this is just the beginning. It's showing we're stepping up, doing the right thing. We're putting our folks through the proper training. We're doing all this, but we have a great working relationship with both the Trump administration writ large, but particularly DHS and ICE, and they're doing what they said that they would do to be able to support all these agencies. And so the mission continues on this. I think we've got a lot of momentum. I mean, I was just able to visit the deportation depot within the last few weeks, I think, and the cadence of flights has picked up there. The cadence down at Alligator Alcatraz has picked up. And I said from the beginning, I don't want to be like, you know, the New York City model was take somebody here illegally, pay for them to be housed in a luxury hotel indefinitely. We don't want that. We want ICE has to go through process, and so we can be helpful for the processing, staging, and then provide them a pathway to be able to return the illegal aliens to their home country. And so that's what we're doing, and we, of course, won in court on Alligator Alcatraz. I know they're going to keep filing lawsuits on anything we do, but we're very confident that we're going to continue to be in the right on all of that. So thanks a lot. It's really been a great effort, and I can tell you, with the leadership that we have at ICE, with Tom Homan being there, all the different things, and obviously President Trump's vision and policy that he set out at the beginning, the difference between where we're dealing with in 2025 compared to 21, 22, 23, 24, I mean, it couldn't be more stark. We were in a situation where ICE was getting no support from the White House under Joe Biden as president. There were illegal aliens released based on administration policy. You know, we had people that were victimized by criminal aliens because of the lax attitude, well, actually the intentional attitude of the Biden administration. Times have changed. This is an important mission. You have all hands on deck, and we want to make sure that coming to America is done lawfully. We want to make sure that our borders matter and that the laws of our state are upheld. And the final thing I'm going to say is this. Florida's not Portland. If you think you can go and launch attacks against ICE agents in this state, you got another thing coming. We will hold you accountable very swiftly and very severely. The people that are working for ICE are being charged with enforcing the laws of the United States of America. You know, we have a process where if you don't like those laws, you can elect people that will try to change those. But what you don't do is take the matters into your own hands and launch attacks against people that are simply doing their job. And I was here for the 4 years when The border was left open. Laws weren't being enforced. They never changed the law. They never actually delivered. They wanted an amnesty, but they never did it in law. It was a de facto amnesty because they knew if they campaigned on that, they would lose even worse. And so the American people have spoken. They want the border enforced, and they want interior enforcement of the laws of this land. And that's what the men and women who work for DHS are doing with our support. It's an important mission, but it's a mission that flows from the laws that are in place in this country and the election results that occurred in November of 2024. So we stand with the folks who are wearing the uniform. We are not going to tolerate any of this that you see in some of these other jurisdictions. And so just be forewarned, if you want to take a pot shot at an ICE agent or any law enforcement, you are going to have severe consequences. And one of the fellows that will be responsible for ensuring that the state continues that is our Attorney General. James Uthmeyer has done as much in a short period of time as anyone I can remember who's been serving in that office. And of all the issues that he's tackled, and there have been very many, I don't think you have an Attorney General anywhere in the country that's been more strong on helping advance President Trump's agenda on securing our border and making sure our immigration laws are enforced. This is something that is it's the Dade Collier Airport. It is not a federal facility, and it is being staffed and run by folks under state control. So we don't have to do an environmental impact statement. There is no environmental impact because that would conflict with our overall policy agenda that we've spent so much money to help restore the Everglades and actually have done more than anyone's ever been able to do. And President Trump's helped on that, by the way, because we did a deal this summer with the Army Corps of Engineers where they're delegating some of these projects to us. We can move quicker. So we already opened one of the pump stations. We're going to do another one very soon. Under Biden, this was going to take till 2034. We're now moving that 5 years earlier where we'll have these SERP projects completed, and that's amazing. So we're doing great work there, but this is just a way to try to throw sand in the gears. This was a very liberal judge that did this. And so if you look at what the appeals court did, they stayed the injunction, which we obviously expected, but they did even more. They took the case away from the judge for now, because I think that the appeals court knew this judge is up to no good. She's going to try to manufacture something to try to throw sand in the gears of this. And so that judge has the case totally taken away from her purview. It is going to go to the 11th Circuit. Look, we will win this eventually one way or another. By the time this winds its way through, who knows what will even be necessary at that point. But that was not good. Now, what I would say to DHS is, yes, we know that's not true. We know we know the state doesn't need to do it. But I think our view is we'll just go ahead and do one real quick. I mean, in this way, it totally moots, even if they have a 10% chance of winning, it'll moot that out. But they're not going to do it. And I said when this happened that the result would be the result. And for people that follow what we do in Florida, this is nothing new. I mean, I can list you things. I could be here for 30 minutes listing examples of when trial court judges have said something that we did is somehow wrong, and then it goes to appeal, and we win on appeal. And that is, we have a very good track record on appeal at the 11th Circuit and here in the state courts in Florida. So I don't think that that's going to end up. That district judge's opinion was rightfully stayed. I do think it'll be fully reversed. But even before that happens, she doesn't have any jurisdiction over this case, and I think that's very important.